Okay, we have graphed the four original points, which were P at 1 comma 2, which is right there, and then Q right here, R right there, and S right there. So we've graphed all four original points, connected the dots. Now we need to reflect, because it says reflect, that over the y-axis. Now which one is the y-axis?
Down and up. Up
So
and down.
the up and down one, okay? So I'm going to reflect across this axis. So that means I want this picture to be on this side. So I'm going to start with all my points, and I'm going to make sure that everything reflects across the line of reflection. So I'm going to start with P. So P is 1 unit away from the line of reflection. So I'm going to make sure that my image is also 1 unit. So I'm going to put a point right there. Then I'm going to do Q. Q is 2 units away from the line of reflection. So I'm going to make sure that my other point is 2 units away from the line of reflection on the other side of the y-axis. R is 8 units away from the line of reflection. So I'm going to make sure that my R on the other side is 8 units away. S is 7 units away from the line of reflection, so I need to make sure that S prime is also 7 units away, but on the other side of the y-axis. So now I have my 4 points. I need to connect all 4 points. So this was S prime, this is P prime, this is Q prime, and this is R prime. I need to connect them all together with a ruler. And now I have, this is my pre-image, and this is my reflected image. Now I need to find the ordered pairs for the image. So P prime, I'm going to start at the origin. I have to go 1 to the left, so that's -1. And I'm going to go up 2, so I'm going to write a +2 for Y. Q prime, 2 to the left, and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So since I went 2 to the left, that's -2, and my Y is +5. R prime, I went 8 to the left and up 3, so that's -8 and +3. S is -7 and 0. Now, if you look at your original points and your new points, what is the difference?
All the X's are negative.
All the X's have changed their signs. So all X's changed signs. And if we go back and look at the one before that on number 1, what changed signs?
The Y.
All Y's changed signs. So when we reflect across the x-axis, all my y's change signs. And when we reflect across the y-axis, all my x's change signs. Those are the first 2 rules of transformations. When you reflect across x, y changes. When you reflect across y, x changes. So let's do the other 2 examples at the bottom. So we're going to look at number 3, trapezoid FGHI. So I'm going to start with F, which is -5, -2. So I'm going to start at the middle. -5, is that left or right?
Left.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then am I going to go up 2 or down 2?
Down.
Down 2 because it's negative 2. This is F. Then I'm going to do G, which is negative 2, negative 2. So 2 to the left, down 2. There's G. Then I've got H, which is 0, 6. So I'm going to start here. 0. Does that mean I go left or right? No, right? I'm just going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's H. And I is negative 8, negative 6. So I go all the way across and down 6. And that's going to be I. Now I connect my points using a ruler. And I have a trapezoid in the third quadrant. Now, what axis am I reflecting across?
Y.
The y-axis. So, my axis of reflection is going to be right here. So that means I'm going to put everything that is on the left on the right. And I got to make sure everything is the same distance away from the line of
I need
symmetry.
Joshua Reynolds to check out, please.
So, let's start with H. Is that going to change? Is it going anywhere?
No.
No, right? It's going to stay right there. What about G? G is 2 away, so that means it needs to be 2 away on the other side. So this is G prime. Then I've got F. F is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it needs to be 5 away on the other side. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And put a point. And then I is all the way, is 8 away. So I'm going to make sure it's 8 away, except on the other side of the axis. This is F prime, and this is I prime. And I connect my dots. And I have a pre-image that looks like this, and an image that is reflected across the y-axis. Now, when we reflect across the y-axis, what did we say about the ordered pairs? What changes? The x. So I'm going to take every x and change the sign. So if this is negative 5, when I change it, it's going to be positive 5, negative 2. Does the y change? No, just the x. Since this is negative 2, I'm going to change it to positive 2, negative 2. Since this is 0, negative 6, I'm not changing it. It's going to be 0, negative 6. And since this is negative 8, negative 6, I'm going to change it to 8, negative 6. Make sure you have all this written down. All right, you're going to do the last one on your own. The first person to get it gets 3 Starbucks. The second person to get it right gets 2 Starbucks. And the third person to get it right gets 1 Starbucks. Make sure you use, make sure you're exact and precise. And you use your rulers. I don't want to see any crooked lines.